Hello and welcome to Very Simple Tuts. In today's tutorial, we'll see how to build the Catch the Eggs game using only HTML, CSS and jQuery. I'm Arshad, and before we begin the tutorial, let's see a demo and the final version of the game. So this is a game. We have some eggs falling down, and we have a basket and that moves with the mouse. Okay, we'll have to catch the eggs to update the score, and we'll have 20 lives. When each egg falls, we will lose 1 life, and the speed of the eggs will increase after a certain interval. So that's it. It's a really simple game. So let's see what we have here. We have a container, this one, and we have a place to see the score, live, and a help text. Yes. And we have 3 hens, 1 branch, 3 eggs, a basket, and a floor, and of course the reset button. Okay, now let's see the files that we are going to work with. We have an index.html file, style.css, a script.js file, a function.js file, and a variable.js file. I have already done the index.html and the style.css file, so that I won't be redoing it, but I'll explain it. Okay, let's see what we have in the index.html file. But before that, let's go and open this in the browser. Okay, let's close the other one. Okay, we have a very basic HTML template with a head and a body. In the head, there is a title and a link to the style.css file, and in the body we have a container, and inside the container we have so many divs. The first one is the score help div, which consists of the score and the live, and we have the branch div, and we have 3 divs with the same class hen and different IDs, hen1, hen2, and hen3, and then we have 3 other divs with the same class egg. These are for the eggs, but with different IDs, egg1, egg2, and egg3. We also have a data attribute here, data bullseye 1, 2, and 3. I'll explain this later. Okay, and we have 3 similar divs with the same class bullseye and with different IDs, bullseye 1, 2, and 3. Okay. Next, we have the basket div. Inside that, we are showing the score. And then we have the floor and the reset button. And before ending the body, we have included jquery.min.js and the collision detection.js file. I think you all know about jQuery. We are using jQuery scripting to script the game, and the collision detection is it's a simple function that returns when passed 2 divs. It will detect whether the divs have collided or not. That's very simple. Okay, our scripting will be in script.js, function.js, and the variable.js file. As you can see, I've already declared all the variables that are required for the game. I'll explain it later after I explain CSS. Now let's go to CSS. Let's see what we have here. the HTML and body, nothing, like just width, height, margin, and font family. And for the container, that's this red bordered div. The container has height, width, a margin left to make it at the center of the div, a margin left of 5%, and position is relative, and border, overflow, and background color. Simple CSS. And next we have the score help div, which has a text align center, font size, and background color. Then we have the branch whose position is absolute, which has a height of 2% and width, background, and top. Then we have the common class hen for all those hens. Its position is also absolute, and height, width, top, and a background image. We are using a background image for the hen, all those 3 hens. And background size is cover, and background repeat is no repeat to position it correctly. And then is an index of 100. And to style each of them, to position each of them at 3 different places, like this, one here, another one here, and the third one here. For that, we have hen 1 left as 20%, hen 2 40%, hen 3 and 60%. And we have the common class egg. It's like the hen, position absolute, top, and the background color, border radius, and that's it. That's pure HTML. There is no images for that. And to style it separately, egg 1 is positioned left, calculate 20%. 20% is the left of the hen. Okay, so now the left of the egg is at the left of the hen, but what we want is to position the egg, the egg's position, the egg center position should be at the center of the hen. So the calculation would be like 20% plus 8% divided by 2. This 8% is the width of the hen, and minus this is the width of the egg, so that its position center will be at the center of the hen. Likewise, egg 2 with 40% and egg 3 with 60% calculation. Now we have the bullseye, which display will be none. This is the common class of those 3 bullseyes. And this bottom, height, width, background, we are using an image here, okay, and background size, background color, and z index 11. And now to style it separately, to position it, left is almost the same as x, 20, 40, and 60. Next we have the floor, which is this one. Its position is absolute, height, width, background color, bottom, and z index. Nothing much. And then we have the basket, which height, width, position, bottom, and the background. We are using an PNG file here of a basket, okay, and the background repeat and background size, text align center, and z index. Now the score one, which is the score that is displayed inside the basket. It's a position, color, font size, top, and left. That's it. You can play with this if you want. Next we have, at last we have the restart button, whose border, position, height, width, background color, and everything else. And the restart button is hidden when the game starts, so its display is set to none. Okay, so that's all about the CSS and HTML. Let's see it here. We can see it here. Yes, everything is looking fine. Like I said before, the variable.js file, I have already declared some variables to use in our script. These are just variables. This basket, I have selected the basket object, container object, hen, the common class hen, eggs, common class egg, egg 1, 2, and 3, restart, score span, score 1, lifespan, floor, basket height, container height, egg's initial position before the game starts. That will be the pass int of egg.css top. Okay, score, live speed, max speed, counter, score updated, things like that. And the basket top, we don't have the basket stop, CSS top, so we calculate it by using container height minus basket height. That gives basket stop. Container height minus basket's height, that will give the basket stop. Okay, sorry. Okay, using the life variable, we are setting the lifespan's text as life, which is 0, or sorry, it's 5. It's set to 5 already. Okay, now before we do anything, let's go and include the script.js, the variables.js file here. Variables.js. Okay, fine. Let's see the life gets updated. Yes, life is getting updated. So let's start the scripting. Before that, let's include script.js also. Script.js is included. So everything we are going to write will be inside the document.ready function. So $function let's the game will be our function. This will be executed repeatedly. That's how the animation works. So in order to do that, we'll have to use a JavaScript's default method called the request animation frame, and inside that we'll pass the function, which here is the game. Now we don't have anything in here, just console log 1 2 3. In order to execute this repeatedly, we'll have to call this inside the function again. So let's see whether it's working or not. Console, yes, 1 2 3 is getting printing repeatedly. So let's go there and remove this. This one main thing, the request animation frame, it returns an ID which can be used later to stop the animation. Let's assign it to a variable called animID. We'll have to update it here also. Okay, I'll show you the use of cancel animation frame. The cancel animation frame, if we pass the animID there, first let's comment this and see, open the console and see how many times it gets executed. What's the request animation frame of the game? Sorry, we don't have the console.log here. Console.log 1 2 3. Okay, it's getting executed like repeatedly. So if we uncomment this cancel animation frame of animID, it gets executed once and then it stops. When the code read this code, it will stop the execution of this animation, the game. Okay, so let's delete that. See, first we want to move the egg. First let's concentrate on egg 1 instead of doing everything. So how are we going to move the egg down? This is the egg 1. Now its top is 18%. So it doesn't matter whether it's in percentage or pixels. If we increase the top, see all the eggs coming down? So that's how we bring the eggs down. So let's write that first. Let's make the function egg down of First, we have already selected egg 1 in the variables.js here. So first let's play with egg 1. Egg down. Let's go and define this function in the functions.js file. Function egg down. Let's change this variable to egg. Okay. So in order to increase the top of the egg, we'll have to get the current top. So like egg current position is a variable, is pass int of. We'll have to use pass in because otherwise the x css tops px will come with each. See egg dot css top, that's x current position. So here using egg dot css top we are getting the x css top. Now we'll have to set the x css top. So egg dot css top is egg current position plus say 2 pixels. Let's see what happens. Nothing is happening. That's good. Oh, I think I forgot to include the function.js file in the script. Yes, that's true. Functions.js. Okay, egg 1 is coming down and it's going out of the container and that's not what we want. Before setting the egg to its initial position, let's move the basket. How are we going to do that? Let's before everything document dot on mouse move function, and let's catch an event there. Basket we have selected already. .css left e dot page x. So whenever the mouse moves, this will set the basket css left as the mouse's x position. Let's see whether it works or not. Yes, it's working perfectly. So that's working. Now we'll have to bring the x to its initial position when it hits the floor. Okay, let's do that first. Okay, let's do it over here. If check egg hits floor of which egg? Say egg 1. Let's write this function. First define this function over here. Function egg hits the floor. How are we going to do that? We have the egg and we have the floor and we have the collision detection function. So it's really easy. If collision of egg that we have passed and the floor that we have selected in the variable.js, return true, else return false. That's how we'll check whether the egg hits the floor or not. Script.js file, if check egg hits the floor, if it's true, let's set the x position to its initial position. That was somewhere like behind the hen, and we have the x initial position here. It's already declared. So let's write a function set egg to initial position. And which egg? The egg 1. Okay, let's define this function. Function.js function set egg to initial position, changes to egg 1 to egg. So how are we going to do that? Same that we did here. Egg.css stop. Let's copy this, paste here. Instead of egg current position, say egg initial position. Okay, this will set the egg.egg css stop to its egg's initial position. Let's see whether it works or not. Egg is going to hit the floor. Yes, the loop continues now. There's one more thing remaining with the floor and the egg. When egg hits the floor, we'll have to show the bullseye. Let's see how we can do that. See, this is the place we are checking whether the egg hits the floor or not. So let's do it here. If collision of egg comma floor, say bullseye, show bullseye of what? Egg, this egg. That will be egg 1, that's passed from the script.js file. Let's define this function. Show bullseye. So now we'll have to identify which bullseye to show. So in order to do that, that's why I've told you at the beginning of the game I will explain about this data attribute. When this object is passed, when egg 1 is passed, it will have access to this data attribute, and this is set to 1 so that it will be easy for us to understand which bullseye to show. See it here in action. Say bullseye num, okay, is egg dot attribute data bullseye. If egg 1 hits the floor, now the egg's data attribute will be 1. If it's 2, it's 2, and if it's 3, it's 3. Okay, we have the bullseye num here. Now let's show the bullseye. Hash bullseye plus bullseye num dot show. So this will show, if it's egg 1, this will show bullseye num will return 1, and this hash bullseye plus bullseye num will select the object bullseye 1 with id bullseye 1, and it will show it. Now let's see, the egg is coming down, it's going to hit the floor. Nothing's happening. Let's see, show bullseye of egg dot attr bullseye. Okay, it's data bullseye. The attribute's name is data bullseye. Okay, that's why it's not working, I guess. Sorry. See, if egg is coming down, it's the floor. Yeah, bullseye is shown. Now we want the bullseye to disappear. So if we hide the bullseye here itself, say hide, we won't be able to see it, because immediately after it is shown, it will be hidden. So let's do something else. Let's call hide bullseye function from here and pass the bullseye num here. Okay, and let's hide bullseye function, and let's pass the bullseye num. Paste this here, bullseye num dot hide. No, not like that. Let's put this in a set timeout function so that it will execute after some time. Say 800 millisecond. Let's see whether it's working or not. Hits the floor, show the bullseye. Yeah, bullseye is gone. Now the second time bullseye came and it's gone. Yeah, that's what we want. Now, next thing we want to check and return the position of the no, before that, let's reduce the score when reduce the life when the egg hits the floor. Let's do that first. Okay, so this one, where if egg hits the floor, show bullseye and decrement life. Okay, function decrement life. We already have the life variable set, so life minus minus, and let's show it in the lifespan. Life, and there's one more thing, that's the life. There's no, life is only, yeah, lifespan.text life. Let's see that there, here we have the life. Yeah, it's decrementing. That's done. Now okay, now let's write the code for catching the egg, which means egg hits the basket. So in script.js, so if check egg hits the floor and why is this? Okay, let's write it here, or check egg hits basket of egg 1. Yeah, okay. In both these situations, we'll have to set the egg to initial position. Okay, so check egg hits the basket. Function check egg hits the basket. So in order to do that, check whether if collision of egg comma basket, we can return true, else return false. Yes, when it hits the basket, it's going to its initial position. Let's update the score also when it hits the basket. Yes, return true. Let's update score. Let's write the function update score, which will update the score. We already have the score. Let's let's update in the score span dot text score. Then there's one more place inside the basket, that's, I think it's score 1. Yeah, score 1 dot text. All these variables are inside the variables.js file. Okay, score, yeah, let's see when it hits the basket whether the score gets updated or not. See, the score is changing. Okay, now that's done, but we have a problem here. This is a successful catch, but there's one more successful catch. If the egg hits the side of the basket also, the score increases. That's not what we want, right? So we'll have to add one more condition during the egg hitting the basket, the collision of egg and the basket, we'll have to check one more condition, that is the egg's top is still less than the basket's top, so that we can say that egg is still just above the basket. It's already collided, but the egg's top is still above the basket. So let's add that condition over here. Okay, all these will come inside that. If we don't have the x top underscore top, egg top is passing of egg dot css top. Yes, save. And I think we already have the basket top here. Yeah, container height minus basket height. Yes, that's static. So if egg top is less than basket top, okay, when the egg collides with the basket, make sure the x top is still less than basket top, because when the x top is greater than basket, which means it already this situation, like the egg had already passed the basket. Okay, we don't want that, so that's why we are checking x top is still less than the basket top when the collision happens. Then update score and return true. Just check that. Okay, that's not updating the score. Okay, now if you do this, yes, now that's updating the score, and that's a catch. Yes. Okay, now I think everything is done for catching the egg, updating the score, if the egg hits the floor, showing bullseye, and yeah, decrementing the life. But here is a problem, it's getting like it's decrementing more. In order to stop that, let's go to the script.js. This is getting called every time, so we don't want that to happen. So we'll have, if life is greater than 0, then do this. Else let's say a new stop the game, and let's pass the anim id, or we'll get the anim id there. See, stop the game, go to function.js, function stop the game. You all know that cancel animation frame is the thing that we are. Anim id, let's see with the 5, so 4, 3, 2, we'll have to wait, 2 and 1. If it hits 0, yeah, the game stopped. So that's what we want. Now let's do the same for all the eggs, but before that, let's write a small condition here. See, if this condition, then set egg to initial position, and let's write an else condition here, else egg down. It's just pretty simple, right? If egg hits the floor or egg hits a basket, then set it to initial position. That time we don't want the egg to come down. This is JavaScript, so it won't wait for the, if this else is not there, it won't wait for this execution to happen, and it will process this, so the egg will come down even if it's the floor or the basket. We don't want that. If egg hits the floor and the egg hits a basket, we will have to set the egg to its initial position, or else we'll have to make the eggs come down. That's it. Now let's do copy paste this for all those eggs, the egg 2 and egg 3. See, egg 2, copy, paste, paste and paste, and this will be egg 3, copy, paste, paste and paste. Yes. Okay, actually here I'm not using completely using the Visual Studio Code's all features here. Okay, that's why I'm pasting, copying and pasting every time. Okay, now see, all the eggs are coming down. Yes, it's hitting the floor. Yeah, game got over. We still got -1, but it's fine. It's okay. We can write a condition when the score is getting updated. If it's not less than 0, update it. Okay, now let's see whether the score works or not. If I cast the egg, yeah, it's working fine. Yeah, 3, 4 and 5. Yeah, so there's one more thing to do, because now the eggs are falling is slow, you know, throughout the game, the same speed. Okay, let's change that. We have the egg down function. In here we are using a static variable, like an integer 2. We don't want that. We can choose the speed over here, script.js, no, variable.js. We have already declared this. Let's change this to speed, and let's change the speed when some condition is satisfied. Let's say when the score is a multiple of 10, like 10, if it's 10, we'll increase the speed by 1, and if it's 20, we'll increase the speed by 1, and like that the speed increases. So where are we increasing the speed score? It's here. Yeah, after increasing, if, let's check whether if score %10 is 0, then speed plus plus. So in order to test this, let's change this to 2. 1, I didn't get that egg. 2, see the speed increased. 4, yeah, increased. 7, increased. Yeah, that's, we have only given life 5. Okay, so let's change this to 10, so that increase. And one important thing, there should be a maximum speed, otherwise we won't be able to see whether the egg has collided with the floor or basket. Okay, so let's do that. And score is less than or equals max score. Max, no, it's not score, it's speed. Speed is less than max speed. So there's a maximum speed for the X. If it's more than that, we won't be able to. This is just a div and collision. So if it moves with more speed, the function will not be able to check in that moment whether it has collided or not. Okay, that's the issue here. So we are dynamically changing the speed. We are updating the score. We're decrementing the life, everything. Now when the game is over, let's show the restart button. That's very easy. Restart dot slide down. Let's give an animation. Slide down. Okay, the next fall. Okay, it came down, but nothing happens when we click that. Let's restart dot click function. Just reload the location. Okay, yes, yeah, yeah, restart is working fine. So that's it. Isn't that simple? That's what I said. It's very simple. You can play with that. You can play with the life. You can increase the life. You can change the way the score is, or life is reduced, or the score is increased, and the speed is increased. So feel free to play with that. I'll update the code in GitHub and provide the link in the description. So if you like this game and if you like my tutorials, please feel free to like the video, share the video, and subscribe to my channel. So until next time, bye.